What's up, everybody? This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman, your host of MrGentleman Like That podcast, and this week's sponsorship is from Newsly. Newsly is a all-in-one audio super app for iOS and Android. It picks up web articles about the most trending topics on the web at any given moment and read them to you in a natural human voice. For the first time in ever on the internet, the entire web becomes listenable, all in one place. Browse articles from topic you choose, start playing, start scrolling, and start listening. You can follow any topic as you specifically as you like, from sports, science to Bitcoin, even for the Kardashians. It will find you on the latest article and you read them to you out loud. And they have podcasts as well. Explore trending podcasts from over 50 countries. Our podcast, MrGentleman Like That podcast, is on there as well. Yes, it is. Shout out to Newsly for that. I started using it as my default podcast app. Download and use Newsly for free from www.newsly.me or from the link in the description. Use the promo code MrGentleman that I will also put in the description and receive 1 month free premium subscription. So you already know, y'all, download Newsly now. Check it out. Support them, y'all. This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman, your host of MrGentleman Like That podcast, and enjoy the show.
You are now listening to MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Chill!
My name is Imani, and you are now listening to MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast.
Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman, 1/4 of the premier podcast, and your host of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. And welcome to another Road to Season 6 bonus episode of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Hope all is well. And I just want to, of course, take the time to thank everybody that took the time to listen to. Don't call it a comeback part 1. Like I said, I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to start recording again. I'm happy for y'all to listen to me again, to hear my voice again. And y'all already know, y'all will hear me a lot more going forward because I'm happy to finally be back. And I'm happy to be back, and I'm happy to do this for y'all. Because if it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't be through going the way that I'm going. So once again, from the bottom of my heart, I thank y'all. Thank you for listening to my show when I wasn't, really active when it comes to doing my show. And thank you for listening to me again from the first bonus episode, and now y'all hearing this, and then going forward hearing a lot more content. So once again, I thank y'all. It really means a lot. So y'all already know next week, the season 6 premiere of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast, and we have my very first guest, who is my real life sister, who is also was my very first guest on the show. She is my very first guest on season 1. Episode 1. She have a podcast show called Coaching Out Loud with Dale Powell. She got a partnership with YouVerge, the Bible app, and many more. We got Coach Dale Powell coming to the show next week. And since she haven't been on the show for literally 3 years, we got a lot to talk about. About her show, about her content. Of course, we're going to talk about other stuff as well, so I'm looking forward to that episode. This next episode will also be the 100 episode celebration. Even though we already been at 100, but this is the celebration of the 100 episode. So look out for that. Also, guests, confirmed guests we have this season. Of course, we got the bro, Aaron, King Talk Sands is back on the show. He will be back for a Survivor Series prediction, Royal Rumble prediction, WrestleMania prediction, but he also would be on a show called the Brotherhood crossover episodes, where we basically have I bet you interview on my show. We catching up on everything because it's been a while since he's been on. I actually had an actual interview on my show, and I will be on King Talk with Aaron Sands as well. So it will be a 2-part crossover episode with one episode from me and one episode from him. So that would be a dope situation. So look out for that. Also, confirmed guest for the season, we had Amber from the Homegirl podcast coming on the show, and we also got one half of the Wet Lounge podcast. We got Ciara Coco also on the show for the season, and we have many more guests. So once a lot more of these guests is confirmed, I will announce it because we got a lot of guests coming this season. Do try to work on it so we can actually have a scheduled guest. It might be some guests that you actually know. So we in the works right now for that. We're also gonna have a lot of personal episodes this season, where we got some topics where we got friendship, we got anxiety. My experience with anxiety, general anxiety and social anxiety. We got purpose, we got friendship, we got New York and cold, we got my struggles, and many more. We got a lot of stories coming, and I wanted to do more episodes. I wanted to open up a lot more because I know I gave y'all bonus episodes in the past, but I feel like I wanted to give y'all more bonus episodes. So yeah, and also this season we got 25 episodes. So the reason why I gave y'all 25 episodes because originally season 5 was supposed to be 22 episodes, but I cut 3 episodes, so y'all getting those 3 episodes back for season 6. So it will be 25 episodes this season, and so this will be the jam-packed MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast season, and I can't wait to give it to y'all. Also to mention, when it comes to bonus episode and bonus episode and personal episode, we also got the Valentine's Day episode from Valentine's Day 2023. Of course, we got that. We got the 4-year anniversary of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast in January 20th. Yeah, I'm not gonna hold y'all. 4 years in January. I'm not gonna. That is pretty wild. It just got me thinking back at the time I started the show, and honestly, when I started the show, I didn't know what to talk about. I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't really opening up. My show was really weird. My interview style was not that great. But then y'all hear me from back in and hear me now, the product is completely different, y'all. And I ain't gonna hold you. I'm proud of how far that I came. I'm proud of how far that I came. I'm proud that at the work that I did with the show. Cause I ain't gonna hold this show. This is just my baby. It's my heart, and I would do all I can to continue to put my brand. Cause I know this show is gonna go somewhere. I know this is gonna go somewhere. Whether people believe it or not, I know this show is gonna go somewhere. And I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep pushing it, no matter what anybody say. Cause nobody opinions matter, about my product. I know it's gonna go far. I know more people who love the show than people who don't love the show. So for that, I know the show gonna go far, and I'm confident. And at this point, I know we're gonna go far. And like I said, and thank you for all the support, and thank you to continue to support the show. But yeah, man, I just love it, man. Y'all already know I love this, man. So I've been getting this question from many people. People always ask me, like, why do I love supporting people? And the reason why I love supporting people, I love supporting people in general, is because of I always been a person where I like to see people win. I always been a person where I like to give people their flowers, and especially if I like your product, whether it's music, whether it's your podcast, whether it's clothes or something, I'm going to support it. you know, because I'm a fan of it and I believe it. I believe in your vision. Like, whatever vision you have going for your product, I believe in your vision, you know, and I want to see you win. I don't believe in competition unless they put me in that spot to be competitive. But I don't believe in competition. I believe in people, you know, if they see, like, people, I believe in people winning, you know, and I want to see others win. That's always been my mindset, you know. Like, no matter what I do, it's always been my mindset. I think I would like to see people win because there was many people in my life who don't want to see me win. You know, I didn't have many people support me on many of my ventures that I did. I didn't have really much people support me when I did music. I didn't really have much people support me when I was club promoting. I didn't have much people when I supported the podcast when I first started. So I wanted to not be that person who don't support people and support people who I know that have a vision and know that, you know, I believe that they're gonna go somewhere. They will go somewhere with their product, you know. And but I just wish that more people see that in me, you know. I don't mind supporting others, but sometimes you just want something you just want that same energy from others, you know. You just want to good job, Ken. You want to keep going. You want to, I'm proud of you. I don't hear that much. So when I always thank everybody for listening to my show, or people, you know, I always thank everybody for listening to my show, and everybody always say, like, you sound so genuine when you say that, because I am, because I don't get people who want to hear me. I don't get people who want to hear Kenneth, you know. I don't get that a lot, you know. So for that, you know, it's really means a lot when I support others, and it really means extremely a lot when they support me back, because it shows that not only that I believe in them, but they believe in me as well, and they do want to see me win, and they don't see me as somebody who just want to take this spot, but we want to move up in support of each other and move up to the top together. And honestly, I always want to see that in people, you know. I believe in people. I want to see them go to the top, and I just want that same for me. And that's why I support people, because also I support people because you might need them in the future. You might need them if they want to help you out, or you want to help them out in the future, you know. We can have each other back in certain situation, you know, and just good vibe, because, you know, in the podcast community, you know, I met a lot of dope podcasters, and I can't wait to work with them in the future. So much I want to work with them. So many podcasts are killing right now, and I can't wait to work with a lot of them in the future, you know. So yeah, that's the reason why I like supporting people. And the only thing is, I just want people to support me back, you know, because I feel like we should support each other. I feel like we should both aim for the top together. Of course, it could only be one show at the top, of course, but as long as we aim for the top in some kind of way, you know, as long as we helping each other out in some kind of way, along on our journey, you know, that's what that matters to me. As long we on the same journey, growing together, that's what I want, you know. And like I said, shout out to everybody out there, you know. Shout out to everybody. Oh, you know, I know today's September 11th, and you know, many things happened on September 11th, but I want to talk about this one specific thing that happened on September 11th, which was the 3rd year anniversary of the Premierable Podcast. The Premierable Podcast is my other podcast show that I do with my bros, you know, Aaron Quinto San, Star Writer Rod, and Long Live Chief Mally Mel. We started the show on September 11th, 2019. It started with 3 of us. Then a year later, we added Long Live the Chief on the show. And then we felt complete. And then we just did our show. We came up with 41 episodes. And I'm happy that, you know, I get to do a show with my brothers. And we get to have the number 1 show on entertainment news for many weeks. It was a fun journey, you know. But can I honestly say I'm proud of it? I'm not proud of it. The reason why I'm not proud of this show that much because I feel like we owe our listeners an apology. We owe our listeners an apology because we've been very inconsistent. We had many people asking us when the next episode is, or when y'all coming on the episode. We spent many weeks not coming out with an episode, and it's just like, and honestly, it got really frustrated for me. It got me really frustrated. And it got me really upset because another thing I felt like, I know I get it. We all go through life. We all go through it in life. I'm going through it right now and stuff like that. But I just felt like we should have found a way to continue to work together. We need to find a way to communicate. I feel like we had not done enough of that, And I feel like our creativity clashed a lot, There's a lot happening. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that y'all don't know about. And we clash a lot. And we clash a lot more than y'all know. But I can't wait until we do work together again. When the right time comes, we will come back together. And I'm not on the show at the moment because I left at the end of season 2 due to burnout and just I wasn't happy. Not happy with the shows, but happy with me, and just wanted to do my main focus on MrGentleman, But when the time's right, when the time for us to get back together, we're gonna be stronger than ever. I know my bros. Aaron, Roddy, and Chief is gonna kill it when the right time comes. But when I get back as well, it's gonna be 10 times better. And I just want the show to go even better than it was. I want us to change our mindset when we're doing this, and let's take this to the next level as a team. I know they're gonna listen. I know my brothers gonna listen to this, and I know all of us are not on the same page right now. So I know we're not on the same page right now, but when the time's right, we're gonna do this. And yeah, happy 30th anniversary to the Remember podcast. And yeah. But what I want for this show, so I want for MrGentleman like the podcast this season, what I wanna do, what my goals I wanna do, like I said, more charts. I wanna really step up my show. I wanna upgrade on the merch. I know upgrade on the merch. I want my show to go more independent. We were on, I believe, 80 something countries. I don't exactly know the exact number, but I want to do more. I want people to be inspired by my story and my guest stories, and that's always been the goal of mine. And I want more people. I want to inspire more people. That basically always been my goal, and that's still going to be my goal. Of course, I want my show to be successful, but I think the most important thing I want is the impact of what my stories and what my guest story have on other people. That is what I want. That way, when you inspire others, it shows that you're doing something. It shows that you spreading the message. It shows that you helping them, and that's what I want to do. I want to help them. I want my platform, MrGentleman, like the podcast, to go to a new level, go to new heights. And once that come, I'll let you know when that happens, because I know it's gonna happen. I believe in this show. I believe in my brand. I believe in God that I know things are gonna pick up, and I'm just gonna continue to do the work that I do. Continue to do the work that I do, because y'all already know I didn't get a lot of support like that when I started the show, because you already know family and friends not gonna support you like that. So a lot of my supporters have been strangers or people who we close, we cool, but we not that close, but they enjoy the show. And I want to be at a point where my family and my friends believe in me a lot more. That's where I'm at. And I went to the point where the world could believe in me. The world could know about this show, and I could find a way to spread positivity through the show. That's my goal, and I just want to continue. Y'all. That's it. I just want to continue, especially as long as y'all continue to love the show and continue to support the show. And if y'all continue to love the show and continue to support the show, that's all that matters, because that would mean a lot. And if y'all through here, I thank y'all. So before we end this episode, I got some podcasts that I want to shout out. I already know. I know if y'all haven't heard the first part. I shout out over 30 podcast shows. Shout out to all of them. So I got a new list of podcasts that I want to shout out that I have been listening to, and they have been listening to me as well. So shout out to Suffer Black podcast, dope, amazing black woman killing it. Shout out to the My Flower podcast. Shout out to Nessa Talk podcast. Shout out to the Sigma Cinema podcast, dope podcast about movies. Shout out to my guy. Shout out to Unfortunate Horrors podcast. Shout out to the Lady Adamalith podcast. That dope show right there. She's killing it. Really dope show. Check it out, y'all. Check it out. Shout out to My Kind of Vibe podcast. Shout out to With Authority podcast. Shout out to the Flaky Foodie podcast. Shout out to How Coronavirus Saved My Life podcast. Shout out to Kingdom Chat. Shout out to Coaching Out Loud. Shout out to Next Door Villain. Yo, this show is very funny, y'all. Talk about every villain ever. It's a dope show. Check that show out, y'all. Check that show out. Shout out to Inspirational with T. Shout out to We're Not Normal podcast. Shout out to I Have a podcast. Shout out to A Fistful podcast. Shout out to the Jabba Tears podcast. Shout out to Wine Night podcast. Shout out to Fit Fizz podcast. Shout out to 8750 podcast. Shout out to What I Have Heard Was podcast. Shout out to the Happy Hour podcast. Shout out to Be in Front podcast. Shout out to Ever Rim Adventure podcast. Shout out to Visit Vegas with Koyu podcast. Shout out to Doom Generation. Shout out to Guru Wrong TV podcast. And shout out to the Core family. A little bit everything with me. CQP Moments. The Broma Show. Our collaboration station. Badass Fabulous. And many more. It's a lot of y'all. But shout out to the Core family as well. And yeah. And shout out to every dope podcasters that killing it right now. Every independent podcaster out there that do an amazing thing, that just want to be successful and just want their voice to be heard. I feel like everybody's voice should be heard, and everybody have a story. I feel like everybody deserve their voice to be heard. Cause you already know that at the end of the day, some show might not be your cup of tea, but it will be somebody else's cup of tea. Not many people cup of tea for my show either, but somebody else might like my show just as much. So I just want to say before I end this is don't give up. Keep going, y'all. And let's just go right to the top, and let's support each other. Let's support each other, y'all. And I'll be right back. Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman, like the podcast and the Premier Boy podcast. And this commercial is brought to you by the Premier Boy podcast, where four public dudes where we talk about anything about the culture. Hosted by myself, Ken, aka MrGentleman, Mr. Aaron Sands from King Talk with Aaron Sands, the Star Riding Ride, who is also my co-host of the Old School Show, and Long Live the Chief Nolly Bell. And we talk many topics, from politics, music, sex, love, relationships, and many more. And also every topic that's going on in the news right now. Many of our topics are very controversial, and the podcast show might not be for everybody because we talk about many explicit content. And yeah, so if y'all decided to check out the show, y'all be warned because y'all might need a drink or two. And yeah, because this podcast is so crazy. I'm shocked they had not got canceled yet. So if y'all looking forward to listen to the premiere of the podcast, check it out on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and many more. Each and every Wednesday at 12 a.m. You can check out the premiere of the podcast with myself, Mr. Aaron Sands, Star Riding Rod, and Long Little Chief Molly Mal. This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman. Have a good day and night wherever you're listening to this episode. Now back to the show. Yeah! I just want to take the time to thank everybody for tuning in to this latest episode of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Thank you to everybody that check out both parts of Don't Call It a Comeback series. It is happy to be back and happy for y'all to hear my voice once again. And once again, thank y'all for listening. And y'all already know next Sunday at 12 a.m. the season 6 of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast with special guest Coach Dale Powell, which is also the 100th episode celebration show. So check out MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast each night Sunday at 12 a.m. We're on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and Pods, and many more. Y'all can rate the show 5-star rating on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, and Podchasers. The more y'all rate the show, the more people know about MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Also, check out the spin-off shows on MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast presents the Old School Show every 4th or 5th Sundays at 12 a.m. New episodes of the Old School Show in October. So look out for the Old School Show every 4th or 5th Sundays at 12 a.m. on MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast Network. Check out MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast presents a conversation about music podcast every first Sundays at 12 a.m. New season of a conversation about music podcast in November. So look out for MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast presents a conversation about music podcast every first Sundays at 12 a.m. Look out for MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast presents Date Night Talk Podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B. Every first and third Thursdays at 12 a.m. Every first and third Thursdays at 12 a.m. We return with new episodes of Date Night Talk in September. So look out for MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast presents Date Night Talk Podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B. Every first and third Thursdays at 12 a.m. on MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast Network. Check out all the spin-off series of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast Network. Y'all can add me on Good Pods, Ken MrGentleman. Good Pods cater to many independent podcasters. Y'all can see what everybody listening to. Y'all can rate each other's shows, and y'all can get on the charts. And I know I had not done this in a minute, so we are on the charts review, and we are on the Good Pod charts. I know while we wasn't around after the first part of Don't Call It a Comeback was released, we was in the top 5 for top 100 shows, and we was in the top 2 for society and culture. But now we are number 43 for the normal charts of top 100 shows, and number 37 for the indie charts of top 100 shows. And for society and culture, we are number 7. So yeah, just continue to listen to MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast and get us back on the charts. It would mean a lot to get back on the charts. Check out the official MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast website, www.realmrgentlemanlifestylepodcast.com, www.realmrgentlemanlifestylepodcast.com. Y'all can check out all the episodes. Y'all can watch every episode. Y'all can check out every guest profile that been on my show. Y'all can buy the merch through TeePublic on the website and many more. So check out the official Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast website, www.realmrgentlemanlifestylepodcast.com. Y'all can check out the merch from Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast on TeePublic. We are coming out with new designs coming soon. And yeah, if y'all want to be a guest on Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast, y'all can send me an email about yourself and everything that you send me a bio about yourself and everything that you do to my email, kenYPGENT@gmail.com, kenYPGENT@gmail.com, or hit me up on social media, Ken_Mr. Gentleman. I repeat, Ken, KEN _Mr. MR Gentleman, GENTLEMAN. And yeah, we could, you could add me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and many more. So let's network, y'all. And once again, thank y'all for tuning in to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. New season start next Sunday at 12 a.m., y'all. New season of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast start next Sunday at 12 a.m. Have a good day or night wherever you're listening to this episode.
My name is Brianna Lightfoot Smith, and you're listening to the Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast.